Hi, it's Rachel from Tea and Forget-Me-Nots.
Hi, welcome back to Tea and Forget-Me-Nots. I'm Rachel and I'm very excited that autumn is finally here. I am very ready for the oranges and reds, the cozy vibes, the hot chocolates. Not that I ever really stopped having the hot chocolates. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make an autumn wreath from the things that you find all around you. As beautiful as this wreath is, the star of the show today is my cat Pastel, who had a whale of a time playing with the various grasses as I was making this wreath. So I'll show you some of the clips of her playing because it's pretty adorable. But I know you're not all cat people, and I have a very autumnal coloured dog as well. So I'll include a photo of him for the dog lovers out there too. Okay, so for a beautiful autumn wreath, let's get into it. I started this adventure by having a little countryside walk near to my house. I was looking for grasses as the background and the base of the wreath, and also some berries or flowering plants to use as the focal points and more decorative elements of the autumn wreath. So during my little walk I chose some grasses, a flowering plant called mugwort, and then various red and orange berries. It's a good idea to choose more than you think you will need. If you have extra, then great, you can just pop it in a vase and then you've got a little bit of extra decor as well. And of course it's really important to only choose things that you know will be safe both for you and if you've got any pets or children around. Here are the supplies that I ended up with. I actually had a lot more grass and berries than this, but this was just a selection of the different types of things that I picked up. One of the most important things when making a wreath is to not attach each flower or grass or foliage individually. You want to make small bundles. If this is flowers, you might have 2 or 3 flowers together. But if it's for the background to cover the wreath, you're more likely to have, say, 10 to 20 individual pieces of grass. With something like this wicker wreath base, it's already pretty, it's natural, it's quite rustic, so it's not a case that I needed to hide all of the wreath. If you're starting with a wreath form that is made from wire or green floral foam, then you might want to prioritise making sure all of that is covered, but that wasn't as essential for this one because I already had a pretty base to start with. I grouped a selection of the grasses and staggered them slightly so that it would cause a natural cascade and curve around that circular base. You can use floral wire to secure your bundle together. I actually had some craft wire that I used for jewellery, which did the job perfectly. I secured them tightly so they wouldn't shift around, then attached each individual bundle to the base. Wrap the wire around a few times and then you can twist the ends together at the back for a secure grip. For each of the next bundles of grass or whatever you've used for your base, you want to try and aim to hide the wire that you've used to attach the previous bundle. If you're adding your base around the entire wreath, then when you get to the end, they should naturally all have covered each other up. For this wreath, I decided to add my grass to only about 2/3 of the wreath and leave the top portion exposed. The brown is obviously a natural autumnal colour and fit in really well with the colour scheme that I was going for, so I was happy to leave that exposed. After attaching it to the base, I trimmed the ends so that they didn't come too far off of the wreath. You probably want to leave 2 or 3 centimetres after where your wire is. I really love the natural colours of this grass. The yellowy golden wheaty colour is really simple but really pretty as well. Of course, the design of the wreath is entirely up to you and what you like the look of. You could cover the entire circle in this base of the grasses. You could do just a couple of accent pieces as well. for a display on one section of the circle. It's a good idea to play around with the placement before you secure it in place and then just work out what looks right to you. And the nice thing about using wire is that you can just remove it, shift it around if you decide that you want to go for a different option later. Once I had my base down and I was happy with it, then I was on to adding a little bit of colour. And for this I was using a flowering plant called mugwort, which is green with little bits of white and a tinge of purple as well. I cut individual pieces of the mugwort off and did a test of where I was going to place them before I secured them. This was both to make sure they were evenly placed and to check that I was happy with the amount that I had. And I just wanted to show you my cordless glue gun because I feel like this might be one of the most underrated supplies in a craft kit. I had a corded glue gun for a long time and I didn't know any different, so I thought it was fine, but actually when I got a cordless one and I was just free to move it around wherever I liked, oh, game changer. It was so convenient. Such a great addition to a crafting kit. So I placed the pieces of mugwort in the middle of the grasses so that you didn't see the ends of it and it naturally fit in within the shape that I was going for. It adds just a bit of extra dimension, a bit more interest, and breaks up the grass a little bit. I was already really happy with this wreath as it was. I thought that was a really pretty starting point. However, I did want to use my berries just as a focal point and something to attract the eye. And this had two benefits. One was to create this lovely bright pop of colour, but also secondly to hide the final bit of wire that was attaching that last bundle to the left hand side. So I didn't want to glue these in place and make them slightly difficult to remove, so I wrapped them in a bundle of wire first and then attached that wire to the base. This is so that they're easily removable, so I can swap them out with new berries or even change them for something like a burlap ribbon, or add maybe a faux pumpkin or something there later on. This was nice to have a variety of different colours of berries, so some lighter orange, darker orange, lighter red and darker red to create some depth within the berries as well. But berries won't stay fresh and last throughout the autumn months. Attaching things with wire just gives you that freedom to be able to chop and change as you like. And with something like the fresh berries, it's nice to have the wreath looking healthy for as long as possible. So it just gives you that extra option. The berries really do give it that wow factor and pop. It's really lovely. And you could just as easily have this on a wall or above a fireplace. Doesn't need to be on a front door. And here it is on a slightly windy autumnal day, of course. I'm not sure if the dragonfly door knocker is showing the wreath off or the wreath is showing the dragonfly door knocker off. But after a summer of painting my front door and my porch, and with this lovely wreath now, my porch is looking so much more welcoming and charming. Thank you so much for watching this wreath makeover. I hope you enjoyed it and are as excited that autumn has arrived as I am. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It makes a huge difference to smaller channels like mine. And for more autumn decor, check out my pumpkin videos. That were such a fun way to make faux patina pumpkins. Okay, until next time, thanks so much. Bye.